pawn any longer. When a nation refuses to be a pawn any longer, Burkina Faso was once just a piece on France's chessboard. Its gold enriched foreign banks, while its leaders answered to Paris. Then, revolution changed everything. Under Traore's leadership, they expelled foreign troops, nationalized industries, and formed powerful alliances with Mali and Niger. This isn't just talk about Pan-Africanism. It's real action. With each new dam, school, and strategic partnership, they're building a self-reliant future. No longer the region's poorest nation, they've become its bravest. Burkina Faso stopped waiting for handouts and started showing all of Africa how to rise from colonial ashes to true independence. If you believe Africa deserves leaders who fight for sovereignty, dignity, and true independence, share this video. Let the world know that Ibrahim Traore is not just a headline, but a movement. Comment your thoughts, subscribe for more untold stories, and stand with those who refuse to be colonized again.
Hey, yeah, that's what I'm there, so sit down and listen now. But, you know, it's funny because at least all of these changes that I can see that Ibrahim Traore is making in Africa, we would have loved for that to come to Jamaica. Jamaica so corrupted. We so filled with so much corrupt politicians, corrupt ministers, from the ground up, from the small man to the big man, from the smaller man to the big man. Me not hear Jamaica talk about it too much. The only people in Jamaica me hear talk about it is the Rasta community and the people who follow Rastafari community. Me not hear no church leader come out and talk about it. Maybe one me hear last week. You know, you're non ministers, and everything that this man is doing is of righteousness. Everything that he's doing is of righteousness. You understand me? Yet still, Jamaican ministers stay silent. One little effort, me say, the PM, I try, in a one post he made, I think it was yesterday. And for the first time ever, I have seen this man black. Him and a group of people are singing, by the rivers of Babylon, where we sat and there we, and that's the only thing, but that's a start still. Because that is showing that the puppet is realizing that he's a puppet. They're a puppet. There's so many puppets in Jamaica. Jamaica is full of puppets. Full of puppets, people. That's why you don't hear nothing from them. So, I love what Ibrahim Traore is going on with in Burkina Faso. And he is changing the world. It's a trending topics right now on all the web. Trending. I don't know, maybe some little small squabble people in America still, you know, a duck and a berry and they're going because I'm afraid to stand up in front of the white man and in the white man's country. But even the white man right now is standing up for Ibrahim Traore and what he's doing. Black people mainly have just become a cowards and a puppet. Me nah put my mouth a gun and talk. Afraid. You understand? No ask me if I don't know. Because me know like all a video like this and I put on nobody at all. Nah, I put no comment on it. Then they want to watch it to make the white man and Babylon sister them a watch it. Yo, me sorry my people, but I just the truth. I just saw the thing said. We done already born black. We done already born bad. And that me can't change. And you know, me not bleach up myself. I leave the white to be the whites. I leave brown people to be brown people. Indian to be Indian. Chinese to be Chinese. I hope them just leave me alone to be black. Been underdeveloped, been under support, been beaten back, been kept down, hold down, been stifling, been so many of the wrong and the bad things for so long. Then I go just accept it and just die like that. I rather die on my feet, standing up. Yeah? So, even Vybz Kartel and them are puppet, you know. Big time. Big time. Them have to bow. Have to bow. Hey, you think the influence of Babylon around with people? So when you hear enough people around on riches, then we sell out them mother and them papa feed. Anyway, I don't want to take up too much of their time because I them there, so I listen and just bring the item I want me to listen to.
The revolution won't be televised, but together we can make it go viral. When a nation refuses When a nation refuses to be a pawn any longer, Burkina Faso.
Ibrahim Traoré began his Independence Day speech with an unexpected question. How many of you know the real pre-colonial name of your...
So the man, what I'm doing now, the things that he's doing right now, because they have already done a whole bunch of things. Building dams, building school, building a whole heap of things. And planting the fields and thing. You understand me? But what they have done now, in dissolve the electoral committee, wipe that out. No more, it's a waste of money them there. Wasting of money. Then think about it. Jamaican people are struggling and suffer so much. You understand me? Maybe they are them not see it, you know. But there's a 2 million leaf on the gully bank here, sir. And me seeing the suffering people who is in lacking. Them not saying, you know, because everybody just go on like say, well then, them super. But you can see the lacking and the suffering. Food item in Jamaica is very expensive. Now when some people come down to Jamaica now, like even my wife, when you go to the supermarket and spend $20,000 to buy food, that coming like a nothing to her because she no live here. And she only, but if she stay, if she turn off for a little while, a beer balling. Me I tell you, me there with her, me I tell you, say, when the money wind down, I be in misery, she blame me for every blasted thing. If the internet go out, she blame me. If the light go out, every blasted thing she blame for me. Me become a servitude for her. Because I can't ning in my ears. And to have a miserable wife is a miserable life. So I can't comfort her. Can't comfort her. So, back to the script. The man said the money that they're using, the electoral money that they use, can help set up the country. The things they need to set up properly. Free schooling, that done already go on. Free housing, him already build 50,000 houses, him build a new city right now. For people them. And you can see that it start to show. And the Burkina Bay people, you can see it. Because when people used to be dirty, you know, and now no water and something for wash and say and a good bathroom, you know. While the ministers them, yeah, and the parliamentarian them, whoa, live lavish lifestyle and them have offshore bank account. All of them things that man shut down, you know, all the corrupted government and corrupted people, man take out all the money out of them offshores, man farm alliance, man link up the foreign government and say, yo, send back them money that we got to send them back. We prison them boy for them corruption and then girl for them corruption and them do. And them thing they for go on to Jamaica. Corrupted people in Jamaica live well off, them and them sons and daughters. And the small people, them just like a puppet. You know, them routine, get up every day and if them have a job, them just go to them job, them nice and them can't say nothing. You understand me? Pure puppets. I'm not tell you, I'm go the hard way, not the hard way there. The hard way, me and the hard way, them always not a problem. Me and the supermarket, them always not a problem. Me and the security guard, them, boy and girl, them always in the argument because they're just puppets. Them don't know how to take control and rule. Then you're going to make a man to a man hire you. You treat your people them bad. You can't do that because when somebody come out and knows so you from the ghetto, don't understand, you know, and just because you in one job and you hold a position now, you go talk to me bad and deal with me bad in front of your boss. More time you can kill you when you come home. And sometimes more plan for do that. Seriously. And then you go find out say, after a time you're going to lose the job too. So anyway, the them know some I make video at the gas station, the Rubis gas station from them start to redevelop it, you know, because I man used to use the ATM down there, and when we find out that the ATM inactive for a long time. And then I say, oh, and then you see the changes start to happen now to know that they're redeveloping the gas station. So, I start, them know, you can just go down on my page on my timeline and you will see some of the video. I was supposed to go down there over the weekend. I don't know why it never came to my mind. But anyway, the day is still not done, and we still have another day and another day. Can be done anytime. So anyway, the gas station it has become inactive right now. It might be not real active because them still have the sidewalk and some of the landscaping and things, put on grass and concrete on some of the sidewalks and things. See. And I kind of know what them gonna do because many of the vendors them that surround that area, we know so them are gonna move them. Anyway, you know, I fast not people business, but I kind of have a feeling because if me was a vendor right now, I would have positioned myself in a little better way. I would have secure myself a better way so people can really see the gas station and see what's going on over there because when you block out the view, you know, you're going to come to the attention of the owner. I think it looked like it's a new owner. It looked like it's an overseas investors. It don't look like a white American. It more look like a Spanish person. That's the kind of person it look like. Or an Indian person. Anyway. I was passing by and I see what was going on. So I say, alright. I stand outside and I look, I observe for a good while. Until I decide, say, alright, you know what? I'm gonna walk over there and see. I know they were still under construction because one side where they're building up a new building over there look like that's where they're gonna put the food court. Right? That is not active. They still have the zinc fence around it and things like that. So, we take a walk over there. At the time when I was walking over there was another man coming behind me. And this man was you can see that this man came up off of some generational wealth. You know the people that come up off of generational wealth. You can know them when you see them. These are the kind of people when Paul Bogle and the rest of them decide, boy, too much no more, and them start a revolution. Because a revolution free Jamaica too. Right? And when these white powers, these British people, level the country now, them leave these people in power. And them set them up with land and these things, give them authority over lands. So we black granddaddy and grandmama run with them, take for themselves. So we end up in the jungle, walk up in the rain and on the Gully Bank and them place there. So you can see it on my skin, you can see it on me. People like me, you can see it. Anyway, so me and that kind of man, he was walking behind me. So after I step over the fence, because they have a chain that link that lock that no car can come in there. So car drivers that can't come in there. But they were setting up the pumps. You know that gas was in the tank, and then you can see the fuel workers who drive them fuel truck come there, and they was setting up the pumps and things like that. So I said, well then, I can walk go up by the the building where them have the cash register where you go buy the gas in me if you want a bottle of water or something like that, pack a cigarette or a register, you can go in there and buy it right there. So, but the food court now that they're building is different. So I want to go to that building. I didn't want to go to the food court because I could see it. I look out there and see that they still have the zinc around there. I know they're still working. It's not an area or place where you should walk, because if something wrong with you over there, you don't have no insurance to get, nobody no response, you're not wrong, because you step over the chain line that really bar off the public. I know that because I'm a building construction worker. So they have this puppet girl, you know. Me have a style of as girl, security guard girl. She right there in the building too, because basically she's securing the maybe this man is not the owner, maybe him just a supervisor who's put head over it, but you can see where he's coming from. Maybe he's the owner, And right away now, as I was approaching the building, the other man was approaching too. I know better. Say, me shall come about. Me know. So me dive. Me only want to look in the building still. I don't want to go in there because I wasn't intended to buy anything. See me? Me never intend to buy nothing. So the generational wealth man come up now, and them show so much of a partiality that you can't do no better but a hatred driving your heart against them, because you favor to stand and reason with this man and reason out things with him and explain out things with him. But me, but she never said it like that, But it's just the farmer way. You understand me? They're not open it, and so you're not supposed to walk over here, you're not supposed to come over here, you're not supposed to come over here. I'm like, I know that. And she continued saying that. I'm not supposed to come over there. That was the wrong approach. That was the wrong approach. Furthermore, she have the generational wealth man one side, a reason talk to him. Partiality. Why not call me over to and explain some things? Because you want some message to go there in the city too. Because even though people see that the thing is still fence around and bar around still, but you want to reason with people. You want to let people know this is good integrity. You understand me? So I wouldn't do it like her. If me gonna send away my brother, may I send him away in a good motion. I'm sorry, sir. Come here for a minute. I'm gonna say, look, the building is not fully open yet, And we do not want you to walk over here at this time and anything happen to you. Because if something happened to you over here, there won't be any insurance thing that cover you. Now the boss sit down and hear me explain, because remember him not tell me if it's said that, you know. What you think him out do? He won't keep me around, he won't elevate me, because I'm see my mind in a certain place where me a cover for him too. You understand? But them don't know, them dunce, them do not know, them just puppets trying to secure the job. Cha. Me say me get so angry the way she talk to me. When I look back, me say she have the man one side. I talk to him because he might have brown and look like saying him drive a nice car over the supermarket and them kind of things there. So she reason with him, but to me look like so that's, you know, me raga, like at the gully me come from out there. But me guarantee you say she not sleep in a better and a cleaner bed than me, or walk on a better floor than me. Me guarantee that. Guaranteed. So it's the people love to see people and stereotype them and judge them in a certain way, you know. This is one of the days the most away successful ghetto black man that come up and walk around like say we have money. We're not doing it. Because we don't know the groundwork still. Man I walk around look like him at the worst, dirtiest right now. Kind of want to attract nobody to him. You want to live in the ghetto and people know say you have money as a ghetto man. Every day them come on your gate. And because you're like them feel like you compelled to help them. When you can't just take out the little funds that you have and help people who is hopeless. Because most of them hopeless. Most of them hopeless. They ain't can't sit around. Them not build for themselves, they not do nothing for themselves, they just lay down and blast and sleep. I'm not telling you like, wasted. Me, if I come up, when my back against the wall, we done already familiar with the Bible and know so well and charity first. The art of to be into helping others. So when me go to that, my intention is to help. Me not just go to look for people to help me and people to do for me. No, even when me hungry, me look for help people and walk away too. Make them consider that. Next time you see me around, if you get a chance to see me around again, then you can do a little thing and help me if your mind bring it to that. You see it? So when you check it out, you know, it's fire up on both sides. Because our black people now stand up and it cause others to just bow, to just be a puppet. Because, you know, and disagree with the lifestyle. You understand me? So it's only the government can solve that with education. You see, now once you provide the free education now, because you know, Burkina Faso is an army run that. The army rule that now, you know. Yeah. And Ibrahim Traore, him a bad man. Him a bad man. Saying free schooling, that means all dunce bat. Every dunce bat. Going to school. Because you're valuable and we need you. You think you'll just go buy and sell some sitting and come on the road and say you're going to school, go even learn for even blow out to them something they do. You see me? But it's like our government don't care. Because him is another one, you know, you hear me always straight on the pine boat. I need to get to him born and go up. Yeah, I mean, to get to your born and go, but generational wealth you come off of you and your family might just in that position there. So, but me sure no right now you can look around and say you have Tom, Dick and Harry's family over there so well off. Half of the slavery money. Yeah. Why at this time them now push forward for reparation? Because reparation can fix a lot of things, you know. I never talk to Britain, man. Seriously, man. I want to know, man. We people of my country is in dire need. You know, milk out everything. And then bring in other friends and compadre to milk we out. Now we need some help from one man. Seriously. And we not talk about no puppet help, we not talk about no loan, no IMF loan or nothing like that. We are talking about reparation. You look around, alright, look, let me give you one example. Look, it's the grandmama there. You see her? So I have seen it. Many of them I have seen the sufferation of people, of my people. Seeing, they want them to say these elite people don't see. Them just drive by and put on them blinders. My God. Don't they all know that we are gonna die? And then the judgment? You're gonna give a calling for every action, everything. And the likes of God not talk to them, you know. And the likes of righteousness not speak out, you know. That's why God give you free will. You have a heart and you have a mind. Things must come to it. Jaja, I love what Ibrahim Traore is going on with, yeah.
Among the 60,000 people in the stadium, only a few hands were raised. Traore put down the microphone, stood at the center of the stage, and maintained his silence for a full minute. This silence carried the weight of Burkina Faso's lost cultural heritage. Then he continued speaking. Today, we begin the fight not just for our political independence, but for our cultural independence as well. The crowd, initially confused by the question, now hung on his every word. This was not the typical Independence Day rhetoric they had expected. For too long, Traore continued,
like the other one,
we have lived in places whose names were given to us by others. Saint-Michel, Petit Paris, Nouvelle Marseille, these are not our names. They are marks of occupation, reminders that those who named our hills, our rivers, and our villages believed they owned not just our land, but our very identity. The stadium was silent, absorbing the weight of his words. Many in the audience had never considered the significance of the French names scattered across their homeland. When the colonizers renamed our villages, they weren't simply putting new labels on a map, Traore said, his voice gaining strength. They were attempting to erase our history, to disconnect us from our ancestors, to make us forget who we were before they arrived. He paused, looking across the sea of faces. Some elders were nodding in recognition. Younger people appeared thoughtful, as if encountering a new perspective on their national identity. Today, on the anniversary of our political independence, I am launching a national initiative to reclaim our original village names, to restore our geographic memory, to heal this cultural wound that has been left unaddressed for too long. The announcement was met with a moment of stunned silence, followed by a growing wave of applause that built into a thunderous ovation. People were standing, embracing one another, some with tears in their eyes.
We've been studying for a long time.
It was a proposal that touched something deep in the national consciousness, a pain that many had felt but few had articulated. As the applause subsided, Traore outlined his plan. This will not be a top-down renaming imposed by the government. Instead, we will embark on a journey of collective remembering. Each community will research its history, gather its elders, consult its oral traditions, and decide for itself whether to reclaim its original name or choose a new one that reflects its true identity. The initiative, which Traore named Reclaiming Our Words, would become one of the most significant cultural projects in post-colonial African history, though neither he nor anyone else in the stadium that day could have predicted its far-reaching impact. 2 weeks later, in the village officially known as Saint Laurent, a community meeting was underway in the shade of a massive baobab tree. The village chief, an 87-year-old man named Musa Ouedraogo, sat on a wooden stool at the center of the gathering, surrounded by other elders, village officials, and dozens of community members. A young government representative, Aminata Diallo, had been sent to explain the president's initiative. She stood before the assembly, nervously addressing the village elders. President Traore has asked every community to search its memory, to speak with its oldest members, To uncover the names that were used before the French arrived, she explained. The government will provide resources for this research.
Wow.
And once you have made your decision, the new name, or rather, the original name, will be officially recognized on all maps and documents. The chief listened attentively, then spoke in a voice weathered by age but still commanding respect. I was born in this village, as was my father, and his father before him. All my life it has been called Saint Laurent. I know this name is not ours, but the true name. He shook his head sadly. That knowledge was lost with my grandfather's generation.
So, you hear what I'm doing? I'm called the elders them. From way back when, who remember who was around before France and the rest of them colonialized the place and start changing name, because him talking about cultural name, to bring back the cultural name. Understand me? Because believe me, when I hear some of the names, the African names, they reverberate inside of my body. It make my mind. It make my mind start think. And them a real name too, When you talk about Burkina Faso, when you talk about Ouagadougou City, if that not mean nothing to some black people, them gone, them lost. Really. Because of black people word that. And them kind of words that we still use, it's just that we not pronounce them as that as the way, you understand it, because we are detached. But Ouagadougou City, that not plain a tell you about thing, man. My brethren sent me a video early this morning. And I want to play some of it because that's the video that stirred me up and send me upon a research and run now. And these are what I buck up on. So I couldn't get it to come off of my WhatsApp line into my place where your videos and your picture them store. I couldn't get it to come off of it in there. As me would have just formulate some things around it and push it out. But they are them can see and hear it. But since I'm doing what I'm doing right now, you can just go up on it and play it just like how I'm playing these videos. Me like this one. This one, me like it, and believe me, there's so much in Ibrahim Traore, my God, may I tell you, that sometimes it coming like me can't pass him. So, big on my brethren, Mr. McGivern. You understand me? Blessed
Ibrahim
brethren.
Traore has declared from today, if you are a minister and you are entitled to serve the people and you steal $1, I'm talking about $1, you are going to spend.
Burkina Faso has just been declared a corruption-free zone. Offshore accounts banned. Hundreds of officials are under arrest. Entire industries were seized by the state. Is this a genuine revolution or something else? Let's find out.
Terrible.
On an ordinary morning in Ouagadougou, something deeply unordinary happened. Government offices opened as usual, markets bustled, radio stations ran their daily programs. But behind closed doors, the heart of the Burkinabe state had just been cracked open. Within hours, a quiet storm began sweeping through the country's administrative ranks. Court clerks received sealed warrants. Military units were deployed not to borders or battlegrounds, but to ministries. Unmarked vehicles arrived at the homes of former finance directors, procurement officers, and customs heads. Phone lines went dead. Social media lit up. No one had been warned, and that was the point. In a single coordinated push, dozens of government officials were taken into custody. Not just one or two scapegoats, but a cross-section of the system itself. People who had operated untouched for years, suddenly found themselves facing prosecutors armed with full access to government ledgers, banking records, and private communications. For the first time in living memory, it wasn't. At the center of this purge was an elite investigative unit reporting directly to Captain Ibrahim Traoré. This wasn't the usual anti-corruption commission with limited authority and a bloated budget. This was a war room. Their mission? Track stolen funds, freeze accounts, dismantle the network that had allowed embezzlement to thrive for decades under different governments and empty reform slogans. Shockwaves rippled across the capital. Businesses with close ties to the state suddenly found their contracts voided. High-end restaurants known for hosting government clientele emptied overnight. Civil servants refused to answer calls that had no clear ID. It was as if corruption itself had been declared a fugitive. And now, no one wanted to be caught sheltering it. Then came the broadcast.
Yes, sir.
On national television, Traoré appeared not in military uniform, but in civilian attire, deliberate, sharp, calm. Without drama or flourish, he spoke of the weight of betrayal that had hung over the country. He didn't name names. He didn't need to. Everyone watching already knew what he was talking about. He promised something that sent a chill through every office desk from Bobo Dioulasso to Uwahiguya. The full recovery of public funds, regardless of where they had been taken or who had taken them. In less than 24 hours, Burkina Faso's political landscape had shifted from cautious reform to calculated rupture. No more committees, no more workshops. This was enforcement, and it was ruthless. But even more unsettling than the arrests was the precision. This wasn't a clumsy military sweep. This was surgical. Files matched, testimonies cross-checked, no leaks, no premature news coverage. It was as if the state had been quietly watching its bloodstream for months, and now, with a scalpel in hand, it was cutting out every tumor it could reach. And the people, they watched it all. For years, Burkinabe citizens had known who the thieves were. They had seen ministers build mansions overnight. They had watched government vehicles used for private weddings. They had lined up in hospitals without electricity while billions vanished into foreign real estate portfolios. And now, they were seeing something almost mythical: consequences. But beneath the celebration, a question loomed like a shadow. If this was only the beginning, then what had been hidden all this time? Who else was involved? And just how deep would Traoré dig? Let's pause for a second to say big thank you to the Black Culture Diary community, where Black voices, stories, and legacies are preserved and amplified. By becoming a member, you're not just supporting the channel, you're becoming part of a powerful cultural movement. Let's continue. The arrests were only the warning shot. What followed was a rewrite of how power itself operates in Burkina Faso. In the days after the dramatic crackdown, as the country buzzed with speculation, the real earthquake hit. A series of emergency decrees rolled out from the presidential office, each one more transformative than the last. These weren't vague policy proposals or distant roadmaps. They were binding, immediate, and irreversible. Traoré hadn't just shaken the tree, he was uprooting the soil beneath it. The first legal blow came like a scalpel to the jugular of corruption, a nationwide ban on offshore accounts for any government official, past or present. This wasn't just symbolic, it was enforceable. Overnight, banks across the country received strict orders to freeze any suspicious transfers. International partners were notified. Foreign missions were asked to cooperate or risk diplomatic embarrassment. For a country that had watched its fortunes disappear into the shadows of Swiss vaults and Dubai towers, this was historic. For the first time, a government in West Africa was openly declaring war on financial flight, not just rhetorically, but legislatively. The message was unflinching. Public money belongs to the public. If you've stashed it abroad, prepare to bring it back or lose everything. But Traoré wasn't just focused on the money already gone. He wanted to prevent future theft before it even began. That's where the second law came in. Equally severe, equally unexpected. From now on, no public servant would be allowed to conduct business with the state, not directly, not through a cousin, not through shell companies buried under aliases. If you were on the government payroll, you couldn't sell to it. Period. This move struck at the very core of the corrupt economy. In Burkina Faso, as in many parts of Africa, corruption rarely shows up as a bag of cash passed in secret. It comes disguised as contracts, fake construction tenders, inflated invoices, and ghost supply chains. Civil servants would create companies under relatives' names, win government deals, and funnel the profits back into their own pockets. By banning all business entanglement between public officials and the state, Traoré had effectively shut down the hidden highway that most elite corruption traveled on. This wasn't just rulemaking. It was sabotage against an entire system built on self-dealing. And it didn't stop there. A third decree followed, more personal, more provocative. Every official, from the president's advisors down to local administrators, would now be required to publicly declare their assets, not internally, not behind closed doors, publicly, for all to see. Traoré led by example. His declaration was broadcast on national TV, showing his income, properties, and even personal savings. It was an unprecedented move that sent a clear message. If the president can be transparent, so can everyone else. And if they refused, they would face charges for concealment and presumed illicit enrichment. The speed and aggression of these laws left little room for escape. There were no transition periods, no grandfather clauses. These weren't reforms meant to please international donors or appease activists. They were weapons designed to crush, expose, and rebuild. For the first time in decades, the machinery of the state was not protecting corruption, it was hunting it. But laws, no matter how bold, are only as strong as the will behind them. And the question hanging over the nation wasn't whether Traoré could pass rules. He clearly could. The real question was, would anyone enforce them when it came to the powerful? That answer came in the next wave. Here's a reminder to please like and share the video and subscribe to our channel to watch more videos on Black culture, history, civilization, and identity. Let's continue now. The laws were in place and the threats were clear. But in a country where the elite had always floated above the rules like smoke above fire, enforcement was the real test. For decades, officials had watched anti-corruption campaigns come and go, always with big headlines, never with real casualties. Everyone expected the same pattern to repeat, some noise, some reshuffling, and then back to business as usual. That didn't happen this time. Instead, what followed was something few believed possible in a nation where status had long served as a bulletproof vest. Within days of the asset declaration deadline, high-ranking officials began to fall. Not just clerks or mid-tier bureaucrats, but top generals, former ministers, senior advisors, even family members of past presidents. Men and women who once signed million-dollar contracts were now being photographed in courtroom hallways, flanked by armed guards and legal teams. The courtroom became the new battlefield. In these televised trials, the Burkinabe public saw a spectacle they had been denied for years: accountability with teeth. The evidence was not vague. Investigators presented signed documents, foreign wire transfers, invoices for goods never delivered, and properties purchased through chains of shell companies. Some defendants looked stunned, others broken. The usual arrogance, the smirks, the shrugs, the lawyerly dodges were gone. They weren't being scapegoated, they were being hunted with precision. One particular case stood out: a former procurement head who had, under previous administrations, secured dozens of government tenders for companies linked to her extended family. The state's forensic audit team traced over 1.2 billion CFA francs through layered transfers into luxury properties in Senegal and Morocco. Her defense team tried to stall. They called it political. But the court moved fast. She was convicted, sentenced, and her assets seized, all within 72 hours. Another scandal involved a high-ranking customs official whose lifestyle had long raised eyebrows. Known for throwing lavish parties and importing vehicles well above his salary grade, he had become a symbol of untouchable excess. When investigators raided his property, they didn't just find documents. They found duffel bags of cash hidden under floorboards. Not foreign currencies, but neatly stacked local notes meant for public use. He too fell. These trials weren't just about punishment. They were a form of national theater, a performance meant to rebuild trust. Traoré's government knew that laws alone couldn't change public belief. The people needed to see the system bleed. And they did. But this campaign wasn't only about looking backward. New monitoring structures were set up to ensure future cases wouldn't even need to be prosecuted. They'd be stopped before they began. Every major ministry was now assigned a shadow unit, a team of internal auditors reporting directly to the presidency. These weren't external consultants or friendly compliance officers. They were trained watchdogs with the authority to intercept deals in real time and alert the Anti-Corruption Command. Even more unsettling for the corrupt was the anonymous hotline system launched by the state. Civil servants were now empowered to report suspicious activity within their departments, with full legal protection and guaranteed anonymity. This created a culture of internal surveillance, not in the Orwellian sense, but in a way that finally placed fear on the right side of the law. As one journalist put it, for the first time in Burkina Faso, people in power are looking over their shoulders, not because of foreign enemies, but because the law is chasing them. But as the net widened and the rich and powerful began to sweat, another question rose beneath the celebration. What about the wealth they had already stolen? Justice was one thing, recovery was another. And that's where the next battle began. Taking down the guilty was one thing, but punishing thieves didn't rebuild the stolen hospitals. Courtrooms couldn't pave roads. What the people of Burkina Faso wanted was something more difficult, more delicate, and far more dangerous. They wanted their money back. And that's when Traoré shifted gears again, from arrest to repatriation. Behind closed doors, a special task force was activated, operating under total secrecy and composed of financial analysts, cyber trace specialists, and international legal consultants. Their mission was unprecedented: to identify, trace, and reclaim assets stolen from the Burkinabe people and hidden abroad. This wasn't just about prosecution. It was about economic resurrection, and it required something rare in African governance: patience and precision. Most of the stolen wealth didn't sit neatly in labeled accounts. It had moved through a labyrinth of shell corporations, fake charities, and luxury purchases across continents. In one case, a trail began with a school construction budget in Fada and Gourma and ended with a beachfront condo in the south of France. Another audit found millions routed through fake medical supply contracts that ended up funding high-end shopping trips in Dubai. The sums were staggering, but the paper trails were real. Burkina Faso's new financial recovery unit didn't ask for permission. They began working directly with independent firms outside traditional Western banking institutions. Traoré, aware that some governments would resist exposing the wealth stored in their systems, sought support from non-aligned states, countries like Turkey, the UAE, Russia, and even emerging partners in Asia. With these nations, recovery agreements were easier to secure. There were fewer lectures, less hypocrisy, and more cooperation. Within months, discrete victories began to emerge. An offshore account holding over 600,000 euros linked to a former agriculture minister was frozen in Luxembourg. A suspicious transfer of $2 million made during the previous administration was intercepted just as it entered a Moroccan investment firm. Multiple properties in Côte d'Ivoire, Ghana, and Senegal were flagged, and their ownership traced back to Burkinabe officials under investigation. But what made this recovery operation different was its transparency. Every major asset reclaimed was
publicly accessible digital registry. Citizens could now view in real time how much had been brought back, where it had come from, and which ministry it had been reallocated to. The government even released a monthly report, breaking down recovered funds by sector, education, health, and infrastructure, showing exactly how the wealth was being re-injected into the economy. This act, revealing not just the crime but the restoration, became one of Traoré's most popular moves. It wasn't just about proving that justice was being done. It was about proving that justice meant something. When the powerful stole, the people didn't just suffer, they got their revenge. Quietly, legally, relentlessly. But this hunt also provoked a backlash. International pressure began to build. Some foreign governments grew uncomfortable with the exposure, especially those whose banks had profited for years from storing looted African funds under legal protection. There were veiled warnings, muted diplomatic protests, even sudden visa delays for Burkinabe investigators trying to pursue leads abroad. Yet Traoré remained unmoved, as he stated in a closed-door briefing that later leaked online. If our enemies hide in glass towers overseas, then we will shine a light so bright that even their lawyers won't be able to look away. Still, recovery wasn't just about finances. There was something deeper that needed to be reclaimed, something even more fragile than stolen funds. The people's belief in ownership, the belief that what was built on Burkinabe land should belong in Burkinabe hands. and that belief would only be tested when the fight reached the gold under their feet. Once the stolen money abroad had been chased down, frozen, and exposed, Traoré turned inward, not to the cities, but to the soil. Because for all the bribery, all the shell companies, all the offshore games that drained Burkina Faso's wealth over decades, the biggest leak was still underground. It wasn't hidden in ledgers or vaults. It was mined every day, loaded onto trucks, and shipped quietly out of the country in broad daylight. Gold. Burkina Faso is one of Africa's top gold producers, yet it has remained one of its poorest nations. For Traoré, that wasn't a contradiction. It was a diagnosis. "We were rich," he once said in a closed military council, but only for other people. His war on corruption would never be complete unless he closed the deepest wound of all, foreign plunder of domestic resources. So he made his boldest move yet. One morning, with no advance notice and no public fanfare, Traoré issued a classified directive, an immediate halt to all new foreign gold export licenses. Every existing contract was ordered into an audit. Mining zones with ambiguous ownership or suspicious revenue declarations were seized by the state. Multinational companies with decades of control over local mines suddenly found their operations suspended. There was no negotiation. The country's wealth, Traoré declared, would no longer be traded for handshakes and promises. By the way, we have launched a merch that honors the African leaders who are taking a stand for Africa. Check them out, to show you also stand with loyal sons of Africa, no matter where you are. Coming back, this wasn't nationalization by press release. It was nationalization by action. Soldiers were deployed to secure high-value mining sites. Satellite surveillance was activated to monitor illegal transport routes. A new legal framework was drafted that reclassified gold as a strategic security asset, placing it under the protection of the armed forces, not just the Ministry of Mining. But perhaps the most revolutionary aspect wasn't about shutting others out. It was about building something entirely new. In the heart of the Sahel, construction quietly began on a gold refinery owned and operated by the Burkinabe state. It was to be the first of its kind in the country's history. No longer would raw gold be exported unrefined, losing billions in value to processing fees abroad. Now, Burkina Faso would refine its wealth, regulate its pricing, and retain its profits. This was economic decolonization in its most literal form. Inside the refinery's blueprint was more than just infrastructure. It was sovereignty in steel and concrete. Engineers were sourced locally. Contracts were transparent. International advisors were welcomed, but only those without prior ties to companies that had extracted from Burkina Faso in the past. The message was unmistakable. This wasn't a favor from foreign capital. This was ownership. And it wasn't just about money. Gold had become a symbol, not of prosperity, but of betrayal. Entire villages had watched as foreign trucks rumbled past their crumbling schools and dark hospitals, carrying away wealth that never returned. Now, under Traoré's reforms, those same communities were being offered something radically different: equity. A portion of refined gold revenues was earmarked for regional development funds. Labor quotas were introduced. Schools near mining zones were prioritized for new infrastructure. But with this reclamation came resistance. Former contract holders began lobbying foreign governments.
Think about that.
Some accused nationalism. Others warned of sanctions.
Hold on there, narrator. We almost coming to the end of this video, but think about that. Think about that. Trucks for years roll past our poor city with gold, stockload piles of gold, and we know it. And it never benefited. My God, that is gut-wrenching. Imagine how the people them love him. Can you imagine how Burkinabe people love Ibrahim Traoré? For years, they mine the gold out of the gold mine, and they can see truckloads of it pass them every day, shipped out of their country. And none of it, no wealth, no nothing ever come back to them. My God, Lord God. People unfair, man. People wicked, man. People wicked, man. Yo. Anyway, I'm almost at the end of this video, so you can finish watching it, and then you guys can put your comment in the comment section, as I know that no, drop no comment. Afraid. Me not afraid. Me live at Jamaica, yes, I'm afraid. Me afraid. And a little puppet government, me know him. Him would have scared and coward and would have want to come arrest man like I me. But this is some of my powers have to go rise up. Yeah?
International mining lobbies began publishing reports painting Burkina Faso as unstable and unreliable. But inside the country, the mood was different. For once, the ground beneath their feet felt like it belonged to them. This final act wasn't just about ending corruption. It was about creating something more permanent than prosecutions or policy. It was about rewriting the story of who owns Burkina Faso's future. Not a president, not a company, not a donor, but the people. And now, as the dust settles over locked vaults, fallen ministers, reclaimed land, and revived confidence, one final question remains. Can it last? Do you think it will last? Is Traoré building a legacy or making enemies too powerful to fight? Let us know in the comment section. If this is what justice looks like, why don't more leaders try it? Do you want to watch more videos like this one?
Yes.
If so, subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon next to it. We have decided to bring videos on something nobody talks about: the black culture, civilization, history, and evidence about how glorious blacks have been. Thanks for watching, and until the next video, stay tuned.
Yeah. You see, the problem is now, they expect the whole of we as black people one big bag of dunce and unknowledgeable and foolish and ignorant people. That's how them consider us as. They would never expect a man like Ibrahim Traoré to come up so wise and intelligent and knowledgeable. This man is wiser than Donald Trump, you know. Knowledgeable more than all of them president there, you know. All together. A foreign. Wiser than Charles, the one that was sit on the white throne in England. Wiser than the Queen. This man, the same man, Ibrahim Traoré. Remember that. And if the eye them are black people and don't believe so, jump on a peg. Because we know say enough of our puppets and sell out. And that's why these people can have access over the country, the riches of the country, of our land. Mark say our land, you know. Same way, you know. Them just scatter away and deal with all over, you know. Because I remember at the beginning of slavery, you know, they didn't want us to learn to read and write. Yeah? And I can tell you something I go on. See there, some high officials. See that? I hold it for them, you know. I hold it for them. See that? I hold it for them. High officials. Big things are going on in our country and I feel no way. When you see movement like this, and believe me, I'm pretty confident that a lot of these changes that is happening and doing something is because of the same man Ibrahim Traoré. The world can never be, will never be the same back again. As the narrator said, if you believe that it will last, of course it lasts. Nothing can stop it now. Nothing can stop it now, you know. Nothing at all can stop it out there, you know. Seeing, and I watched that take farm in England, in America, in Jamaica. It might start small, you know, but all you need, like you hear me have a song say, nothing can stop an idea whose time is coming, you know. Black people, the time of black uprising ideas come now, just the eye them to strengthen the eye themselves. Seeing? Then what you think? You think me go stay in a one white man job and be a puppet and nothing and know so the job not suit me? Me left that man. Then man, seriously. Cause I see these things from a long time, you know. You think me? No, sir. Me I go stay and live in America. I know, say, boy, Lord. You're not free now. You cannot be free. A black man cannot be free. Be a free man. Living in America or England or Canada. You cannot be free. And you know it. You know it. So you know, Mr. Boy, I have to make a decision. If I go die in Jamaica, because I would love to go to Africa, but I have no access to it and I'm not familiar with it and no one is there not familiar with it. So if who I'm familiar with want to kill me, they kill me. Them alright. Me sit back in my grave and wait for that job. We bring the accusation upon it, make it live in eternal flames of fire for the rest of it. Yeah, you see, after you gain the knowledge of the Most High, we have to know to use it. We spend many times in America prison. We spend year and a half in a one and year and a half in the other, plus so much jail time. See, and what me do? Write, read, me had my research. I was glad for it because it was the days of my rest from my adversaries. Just write, read, exercise and practice my music them. And when we come out, I tell them, they want, come like John know. If I come back to Jamaica, it's like, yeah, better me sure. I just say one like freedom and everything, but we have more access to more, especially the bonds, you know. I never have a cut my locks in a federal prison. I have a bonds. And my own bands, my own drummer, my own musician and things. Just say, you know, so boy, it's not a place if you dwell and live, you want to come out the road, come get some, do some things now. When me drop a road, man, the next virgin drop with me, say, blow out Daniel Marshall. When you drop, it's like a land running. So you mean? Done already that's the thing, man. Ton load of music me come down here, you know. Done already written type out and everything, you know. So from you know, America is nothing but sinking sand, garbage. England too, and Canada too, so they can't stay there. And send me every month, I send me email address. They can register and sign up for a job over in Canada. Hey, I'm about that. I rather stay here so and stay hungry. When mango time come around, I go eat mango. Me nah go back in Babylon go live. I pass through, do some work and make some money and come back home. But me nah go itch up and dwell. You know what? Hey, I've been listening to Luciana this morning, and I was telling you about a virgin. When we go in America, man, let me tell you see enough of Jamaica talented, top-notch talent them, you know. On the table. And bed there, nyam out and that thing, nyam out girl crutches. Can't come up to them fullness, you have to bow. What about that time about them place there? Me too bad for that. I tell you that, me too bad for that. You hear that? Yeah. When I come as a Jamaica, I come forward and I'm born out with the intention. Not to murder or kill none of my brother or sister them. I mean, I just talk about biological or bloodline. Because I don't know biological and bloodline brothers and sisters, them are the worst enemies. But me I even talk about them then, so when I never lick with them, so I almost kill him, want to kill me, you know? I kill the boy, want to kill me, you know? The boy draw one big half at a time, my sister hold one hand, so our next girl hold one hand, so me drunk still, me intoxicated still, but me just have to go and work with that thing there, and tricky boy. And when he come with the rock and say, so rough off of my head, I'm done plan out the move and I'm just grab her, my sister and hold her and bring her and that make that lick her, you know. Money that me also and push her out of the way. Seriously. And when I find out that can't, the time she still hold me, you know, then me could have hold my sister, so, and my brother, so. I make my son or my daughter come after them life like that. I'm gonna let them go and say, we are them. I go put them that way. I kill you. Want to kill my bumper like brother or my sister. What you want to do? And the boy go draft 1 2x4, you know, man. And then give me some rotted licking across my face and my head top, my shoulder, my thing is some rascal licking and whop. And them still hold me, you know. Blood, fire, them wicked. If I some family, him kill them, you know. Yeah, man, if I some man, him kill them, man, over time. Him not even say, let him go and say, hey, go sit down and kill him, and kill him, and blood, lad, we only hold you for him. Hold him for your, but I kill them, want him kill me. And still run come up now. Still run come. She must scared of me, you know. She must afraid of me inside, you know. Have some brother them kill her, you know. No joke, you know. And kill the next one too, you know. And kill all him too, you know. What the people? Why you see the mistake what I make? The mistake what I make? Them always, oh, him can't, man. Him alright, man. Him can't, man. I idiot that, man. Him can't. Yeah, man. Misconception is a tool of magician. Because a man wants you to think that way. Fuck you up. And when he tells a bullet, no pet, no skin, no bone, no flesh, and nothing like that, you know. Then just like how you can ambush him, you can ambush it too. Because I be ambushing that one. Ambush, or a cat bush, or a goat bush, or a cow bush, or a pig bush, or a pork bush, or a fish bush. My God, or a crab bush. But me ain't of them thing there. Me ain't of them thing there. Because we all gonna die. And you have to choose to be on the side of Jesus Christ, who's Yahshua the Most High, or be on the devil's side. Because nobody know when they're going to die, you know. No one know when they're gonna die. That's a farmer thing. Anyway, I'm kinda have enough right now, so I'm going downstairs and try to get some other things done, you know. Yeah, mega. That's all me, you know, and I intend for work to build up and set up my place like this. I may have total freedom and peace and comfort. I don't like people around me. I don't like people around me. And you know why? I realize that people misunderstand you in a whole heap of things, and when they misunderstand, them carry feelings for you. And you end up gaining enemies that, you know, you never call for. No freedom, no dead there. You can't speak of your own free will because people carry feelings. So I don't like people close to me. I tell you that. You see how hard I work to build this? You see how hard I work for this? I could have never understand it. Could have never understand it because they was always after me while I was there in that house with them. I may ask a question and I can't get an answer. But that jealousy and hatredness. So I'm glad I work relentless. So you can say that all the hammer, you know, so me used to bang, bang. And people say, Daniel Marshall, you're going to have problems later on. I don't care. When the problem comes later on, I will deal with it. But now, I have to get out from around them niggas there. I have to get out, get away from them under them yoke. You hear that? Oh. So bless up, stay well, stay safe, and I balance. And me see the them in the next video here. Anything at all, the them see that the them want to make a comment and you can make a comment on it. But you can do me a favor and like the video. Bless up, stay well, stay safe, and I balance, and I will see you in the next. Hey, Mr. McGivan, what go on? Link me up here, sir, on a real base. You see what I go on do? Yeah. This is how we no idle, we no waste do. Nah. Yeah. Bless up yourself.